Good evening. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Seven weeks. Well, somewhere around close to 7 weeks before we spot the damn ball. It'll be here before you know it. We got a lot to talk about tonight. All football related. That's how you know it's getting close to the season. Record predictions for Virginia Tech and Virginia. We're making good time on these predictions here. We did 3 teams last week, two teams the week before. We stay on this pace, we might finish all of them. Y'all know the deal. Make sure you hit the thumbs up because YouTube really cares, even if your boy does not. Also, only about a week and a half until NCAA 25 drops. We'll talk a little bit about that too. The trailer for the actual gameplay instead of just the trailer for the game came out a few days ago. I don't know how many of you have seen it and what you think about it, but I was actually pretty impressed with it. It looked better than I thought it was going to. Of course, everybody and their mother will be streaming that, in the college football world, and I plan to be one of them. I don't know how hard it's going to be to get the. I probably should just go ahead and pre-order it. Probably what I should do. But I haven't ordered it yet. And I probably won't start streaming it until, let's see here, the 21st, 2nd, 3rd, somewhere around the 24th or the 25th of this month, because I'll be out of town for 3 days right when it comes out. But what I'm probably going to end up doing, I'm still trying to figure this all out. I may do the first couple of NCAA 25 streams right here publicly on YouTube, and then I may switch over to the Patreon and or channel members and let people, from Patreon or any members that want to play me in the game, submit their bids, and we can go down the list of them and play each other. Yes, it plays on Xbox S, I think it's called. That's what my one of my sons has, the Xbox S. which is, I think, the cheapest console you can get to play the game on, if I'm not mistaken. I think you can get an Xbox S for like $299 or something, maybe $399. I can't remember how much we paid for it. But yeah, you can play it on Xbox. Yeah, the Digital Box S. Wahoo Brad making an early prediction before we even talk about the schedule that his Cavaliers are going to go 4-8, which is a pretty bleak outlook on the season, but I think we'll probably end up somewhere around that number by the end of the show. Of course, Virginia went 3-9 last year. Is this a make or break season? Is our boy Tony Elliott on the hot seat? I think he could be. All right. Give me about 20 seconds. We'll get this show started. It looks like Sea-Dog is here, which is great news. Well, Sven, I don't really play video games either, honestly. It's been years since I have played. But I'll make an exception for the NCAA 25. All right. Let's get rid of that music there. Welcome, everybody, to the ACC Show, episode 109, with me and your boy, Sea-Dog. What is up, Sea-Dog?
What up, dude?
How you doing, brother?
Doing great. How about you?
I'm amazing and fantastic. Thank you for asking. Have you seen the trailer for the NCAA gameplay? I'm sure you have.
I have not.
Oh, you haven't? See, I pulled it up before the show. I was gonna show it for those who haven't seen it. The problem is, EA Sports is the main one that's showing it, and of course they have a verified channel. And I don't know. I mean, they'll have the ability to take the show down and maybe even worse. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to take the high road on that. I mean, it's very easy to find for anybody who hasn't seen it. Just go on YouTube and type in NCAA 25 gameplay, and it'll be right at the top. EA Sports. There's a couple of YouTubers who have done videos on it, but they're verified also. And I'm thinking they're sponsored by EA Sports to talk about it and hype it up and all that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to take the chance. But have you pre-ordered the game yet? Because I know you're going to get it.
Pre-order it? No.
No, you're just going to wait till it comes out and buy it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even
get that early access or any of that crap.
Yeah, I don't even know what's the advantage to pre-ordering it. You get early access, is what you're telling me? Like,
it's basically you just commit to buying a game that might suck. Hang on, sorry.
Yeah, your phone's ringing.
I'm cooking dinner. Yeah. I'll have to jump up and get it in a minute and get it. I'm gonna have it ready for my wife when she gets home.
Oh, what was that? Your timer?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I think it needs a little more time.
So what does early access mean? Does that mean they get to play the game a day before everyone else or something? I mean, I don't.
It's like a few days. Yeah, it's just a freaking scam to get more money out of people that can't wait to play. They know people are gonna get it just so they can play it on the.
But you say more money. Does that mean you have to pay more for the early access than if you wait for it to come out? Like.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm not either.
No, I'm not doing that. So. And I still have to figure out how to do it here. I've never streamed on YouTube game, any kind of video game. So I'm sure it's not that difficult. I have to get like a video capture card or something.
A capture card, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Prime Day is coming up, so I'm gonna get a capture card on Prime Day.
What day is that?
July 16th and 17th.
All right, I'll probably do the same thing then.
Yeah.
So how much does that cost, a capture card?
It depends. I think they have like lower end ones, and obviously they can get pretty expensive. The one I'm going to get, I think Reg Talk has one. he recommended. It's like a little over 100, but there's ones for like $40 or whatever.
What's the difference? Does it have anything to do with the quality of the video, or?
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure.
I mean, I don't want the quality to be shit, but I also don't.
Right.
I don't need some. I'm only playing one game, so it's not like I need the most expensive one.
Maybe this will kick off my gaming channel.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I game a lot. Like, I play a lot of games that aren't just college football.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any interest in doing a gaming channel. That's great. There's a million of them out there.
Well, I don't either, or else I would have started one.
But I'll do it for, like I said, for the football, no doubt, and like everyone else will be doing.
Yeah, it's gonna be, dude. This is gonna be so much fun, man. Can you imagine, like, the trash talking? You know? Can you still hear me? I'm sorry, I'm starting the phone.
Yeah, I can hear. I mean, you definitely sound far away, but I can hear you.
Can you imagine, like, the trash talking and everything that's gonna go on? Like, you already have. I mean, it's already a very, like, volatile community when it comes to, like, trash talking and stuff. Can you imagine, like, because all we have to do now is yell at each other. Can you imagine telling somebody to hop on the game, you're going to whoop their ass now?
Yeah.
Like, we have that ability now.
Yeah, and I'm going to take the opportunity to thank all the people that are are on the Patreon. And if you want to play me, join the Patreon or become a channel member. Very easy. And give them something to look forward to, as well as my. I'll do similar to like what I did last year. I'll do one live game stream a week, and most of the time it's going to be Clemson. It really depends on what time kickoffs are and everything. But I'll do one live game stream publicly right here on this channel, and then one live game stream for the Patreon / channel members, like I did last year. So. It's right around the corner, man. It's about 7 weeks or so?
The season?
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah, about 7 weeks.
Yeah, I guess so. The game's only 10 days away from coming out. That's crazy.
All right, let's see who's in here, and then we'll get right to the show. I want to ask you, or I want to talk about something that's in the news today before we get to these these record predictions. Matt Dummon is here. Kevron Harris. Stingray. Let the big dog eat. True Seminole. Hairy Leg. Nature Boy. Mediocre, which is one of the best names on YouTube. Sven Kreuzberg. Jeremy Garland. What's up, Jeremy? Wahoo Brad. We're doing his team today. Zona Tucson 93. Jay Shipes. Oh, look who's here. I haven't had a chance to talk to BVD ever since his Vols won the College World Series.
Right
oh, my God! Oh, my God!
You know, that sound clip was from him watching their baseball team.
I'm in the underwear, and Tennessee hit a grand slam walk-off home run.
Yeah. What's up, BVD? Hope you're doing good.
I remember that like it was yesterday. It was Tennessee versus Wright State.
Wright State?
Wright State.
Wow.
In the regionals.
Somebody named User is here. So the Clemson guy is crapping on Florida State, and the Georgia Tech guy is crapping on Clemson. I don't even think I've mentioned Florida State in this stream, so I have no idea what you're talking about, and we haven't discussed anything as far as Clemson or Florida State. So try again, I guess.
Game this guy's watching.
Yeah. Carolina Jackpot is here. What's up, Jackpot?
Yeah. Oh.
Sid Irish, Rob Sanders' old tank top. There was a guy in here the other day on the midday show called Pete's Hawaiian Shirt. That was a good one.
It's pretty good.
He's talking about the screen where we're squatting down.
Oh, I see.
So he's saying that I'm shitting on the Florida State player and you're shitting on the Clemson player. Okay, I see what he's saying now. Hey, look.
I'm not so sure if that's intentional, but
I don't think it was intentional. No.
we'll have to ask the graphics guy.
I'm surprised nobody's complained yet that there's no Stanford, Cal, or SMU in this graphic here.
Well, I made that before they joined.
Yeah, I know.
So, I don't know.
Well, that gives you about...
I'm not going back and adding it in.
Well, it gives you about 7 weeks to make a new one. How's that sound?
Jeez.
Oh, man. Yeah, so we talked a little bit about the video game. I wanted to just mention something that's in the news because I found it interesting. And so have you seen so first of all, let me set it up this way. There's an Oklahoma State running back that got popped for a DUI, I think, recently.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I saw that.
So Mike Gundy did an interview saying he wasn't going to punish the young man, and that his punishment would be carrying the ball 50 times in the first game. Now, I don't know how much of a punishment that is, but whatever. But that's not what made the news. What made the news was Gundy said whenever he heard about the DUI, he went right on Google and looked up how many beers you could drink at over 200 pounds or however much this guy weighs and still be under the legal limit. And he came to the conclusion that 3 or 4 beers is okay based on how big the guy is. And if that wasn't enough, he then went on to say, I've done it 1,000 times myself.
Damn.
Yeah. Now, look, I'm not going to be a hypocrite, okay? Of course, I've had 3 or 4 beers and driven a car. I'm not proud of it, and I don't condone it at all. I get what he's trying to say, but as the head coach of a football team from a guy who just got arrested for DUI, that's probably not the best thing to say. You're basically encouraging your players, say, hey, it's okay if you guys have 3 or 4 beers and drive around. I don't know. It just seemed like a dumb thing for him to say.
Yeah, that is definitely. Mike Gundy is pretty quirky, though.
Well, Jackpot, sticking up for your player is one thing. I don't know. I just think
I heard that Kirby Smart was on the phone with that running back trying to recruit him.
Oh shit!
Give him a transfer. That's Georgia Bulldog material right there.
Speaking of that, you hear about the South Carolina defensive back that flipped over to Georgia a few days ago. I know Jackpot was mad about that, and I don't blame him. I mean, if you look at the recruiting rankings right now for South Carolina going into 25, they're not good. Now, I'm not saying that they won't move way up the list between now and December, but they're sitting somewhere around 38 or 39 or something. It's just a ton of 3-stars, and I think 1 4-star is all that's committed there so far. And I don't know, man. I might be in the minority here. I'm not sure Shane Beamer is going to even survive the season. I mean, some people think he's got at least 1 more year. No matter what happens this year, they'll give him another shot next year. I'm thinking if they go 4-8, 5-7 even, miss a bowl game, I think he's out the door. I think there's too much pressure from the fan base and probably the boosters as well, if I had to guess. I know he had a couple of good seasons based on what he was left by Will Muschamp. I get all that. But back-to-back seasons without making a bowl, even at South Carolina, that's not acceptable. And it shouldn't be acceptable. I wouldn't be. If I was a Gamecock fan, I wouldn't accept it either. So I get where he's coming from. No, he says terrible. Terrible. Do you think Florida teams will dominate in recruiting base of no state taxes on NIL money and plus the beaches? Well, so far that's not proving to be the case. I mean, Florida's having a hard time. The University of Florida is, not the state. So I don't think that's going to have anything to do with it. I mean, it couldn't hurt to use that as a recruiting tool, but I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. So, all right, let's go ahead and get right into these games here. We're going to start off with Virginia Tech. If we want to get one or even 2 more people on here, the StreamYard link is in the description if you want to come on and do these predictions with us. So it's not just me. Me and C-Dog can run through this in about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know. So I'll give somebody 1 or 2 more people a chance. I don't want to have 6, 8 people on here or anything like that because we'll be here all night. But if one or two people want to hop on with us and go through these games and give their opinions, go for it. I'll give you a minute or two to do so.
Virginia Tech's the darlings of the offseason.
Yeah, and if you've looked at their schedule, I'm starting to understand why.
Yeah.
Yeah, outside of Syracuse, they probably have the easiest schedule in the ACC. Certainly, both in conference and out of conference.
Maybe until they run into the buzzsaw late December.
Yeah, well,
November, whatever it is.
We'll see. I mean, they're returning their quarterback from last year. Was it Kyron Drones or something like that?
Yeah.
If you look at I saw a stat sheet the other day. If you look at the first 4 games of last season, he was terrible, and then the last 8 games, I mean, he was one of the statistically one of the highest quarterbacks in the country. And of course, I think they won like 4 out of their last 5 games. I know they're only on a 2-game win streak, but I think they only lost 1 out of their last 5 games. So they're on a bit of a roll. Brent Pry is on a lot of lists, or like preseason lists, to be the ACC Coach of the Year. Now, it's way too early to be talking about Coach of the Year. We haven't even watched a single game yet. I think there's probably 4 or 5 coaches in the ACC that could possibly win that award by season's end. But he's getting a lot of praise. They bring back a lot. They're on a little bit of a roll coming off of last season. Like I just mentioned, their schedules, it really looks good as far as them trying to make it to the ACC championship game. There's a couple of tough games in there. We'll see if they can do it, but I'm still not sold on Virginia Tech as much as everybody else is, but their schedule does lay out nice for them.
They're another one of these freaking, I don't know, they're the darlings. It's like, I don't know, it irritates me the way that people lash on to freaking Virginia Tech. Like, they haven't done anything that Georgia Tech hasn't done. And everybody, is latched onto them for some reason. It's irritating to me. Yeah,
I think it's a combination of all those things. It's their schedule, the way their schedule looks, the way they looked at the end of last season or the second half of last season.
You could say that about everything about them. You could say about Tech too, except for the schedule. We do have a tough schedule, but I mean, I guess that might be why.
Yeah. I'm sort of with you. I'm not going to believe it until I see it. I mean, if you look at, there was 2 different teams. The first half of the season last year and the second half was like 2 completely different teams. So the real question is, can they carry that over?
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I think they'll probably be pretty good. I just don't know about ACC championship, and people talk about them crashing the playoffs. Like, come on.
Well, what is the? Let me look this up, real quick. What is the Vegas win total? I'm going to say it's somewhere around 9. See here. Well, here's all the ACC. We can just go through that. So you got Clemson at 9.5, Miami 9.5, Virginia Tech 8.5.
That's too high to me.
I don't know. We'll find out in a minute when we go through these games. I'm not sure it is too high.
I guess I haven't seen their schedule, but
I'm going to say around 8 or 9 wins. So they're right on. I think they're right on the money there.
I don't know.
8.5. All right. Again, they're returning their quarterback from last year, Kyron Drones, who had an exceptional second half of his season. I don't know really. Honestly, I don't know who's behind him in case something happens to him. I mean, it's really difficult for a starting quarterback to stay healthy for the entire season. Not that it can't be done, but if you're betting on the over/under win total, I think it probably has a lot to do with what he's doing. And if for some reason he misses several games during the season, that could be the difference between them winning 8 games and 6. So, All right, well, they start out the season against Vanderbilt, August the 31st at noon. I'm going to give the... Huh?
Home or away?
Well, it says at I think it's a neutral site game. I'm not sure. It says Vanderbilt's the home team, but I think it might be a neutral site game.
I wonder if they ever finished their construction.
Who, Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Remember how their scoreboard was like hanging from a crane?
Yeah, they had a crane holding up the scoreboard last year. I think they probably got that. Well,
it just means more over there.
I'm pretty sure they got it done by now.
I hope so.
Is there anybody picking Vanderbilt to win this game? I'm not.
No.
All right. So 1-0 to start the season out.
ACC.
Week 2, Marshall at Virginia Tech.
Didn't they beat them last year or give them a run for their money at least?
Yeah.
They beat them, didn't they?
Did they?
I think. I know that Virginia Tech did lose to some Group of 5 team. They had.
I'll tell you right
the
now.
Same season as us. Like they had. They lost to a Group of 5 team. And made a bowl and won it. I just remember there was a lot of similarities.
They did. They lost 24-17.
Yeah.
To Marshall. Now that was back again. That was the first half. That was back in September the 23rd of last year. So that was when they were sort of down in the dumps. I mean, they beat the. I know you remember this. The big speech from Brent Pry after they beat Old Dominion, week 1. He was acting like he won a Super Bowl or something. But then they went on a losing streak. They lost to Purdue. They got blown out by Rutgers, 35-16. Then they lost to Marshall. And then they finally started to look human again. They beat Pitt, lost to Florida State. Anyway, I'm not going to go through the whole schedule, but yeah, they did lose. They did lose to Marshall last year. I'm still taking Tech to win this year.
Me too.
All right, that's 2. 2-0 for the Hokies. Virginia Tech at Old Dominion. Is this the 3rd year in a row they played Old Dominion? Is that like becoming a rivalry now? What's going on here?
I don't know, but I'm starting to see what you're saying about the schedule here because I'm going to pick them to win that too.
Yeah, me too. And that game's in Old Dominion, which I don't really understand why Virginia Tech, and I'm sure this was scheduled probably 10 years ago or something, at least 5 years ago. I don't know why they're playing on the road at Old Dominion. That never really seems to work out well. Let's see. That's not a Friday night game, is it? No, it doesn't look like it is.
A couple years ago there too.
Yeah, they did. ODU.
Like home and homes.
All right, so 3-0. Now this is an interesting one here. This is a possible upset alert. Rutgers at Virginia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Didn't they barely beat them last year? No, ever. They played last year, didn't they?
Yeah, they played last year. No, Rutgers beat them 35-16 last year.
Wahoo Brad, quick to point out that they've lost their last 2 games at ODU. That's pretty funny.
Well, no, they beat them last year. They beat them 35 to they beat them 35-17 to open the season last year.
They played that he's talking about at ODU.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So, they lost to Rutgers pretty badly last year. Got blown out.
This is a tough one for me, man.
Me too.
They get them at home?
Yeah, it's in Blacksburg.
I'll give it to them, I suppose. When are they going to start playing conference games?
Well, after this. Yeah, I'm gonna give them the win there as well. So if we're both right, they start out the season 4-0, which at that point, I mean, they really haven't played anybody that's really worth a shit, but they might be ranked if they start out the season 4-0, just because there's going to be other teams around the country with a couple of losses. But
And as much attention as they're getting, yeah, they'll be ranked at this point.
All right. Then they have to travel to Miami. Not that there's a home field advantage necessarily in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll bring on Sven here. See him in the back room there.
Sven.
Good morning.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm going to Dublin.
All
Watching
right.
Georgia Tech.
Oh, you're going to the Georgia Tech game in Dublin.
Yeah, 2 hours flight. I got tickets, but they are horribly expensive. I paid near $400 for the ticket.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going.
$400 for the ticket plus your flight.
The flight is not expensive. The flight is $100.
Oh, that's not bad. Round trip?
I have friends in Dublin. I don't need a hotel.
Okay, so you played your cards right there. So cheap plane ticket, expensive game ticket, and a free place to stay. You can't beat that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm jealous.
School is having a package where you get
Marshall win, Old Dominion win, Rutgers in Blacksburg win, 3-0.
4-0.
4-0.
They bring 22 starters back. They are loaded.
Yeah, so you agree with us so far. We have them at 4-0. Then they travel to Miami on September the 27th. This is, well, it's listed as a night game at 7:30 p.m. right now. I guess that's subject to change, but Miami getting a lot of two of the most hyped up teams in the offseason in the ACC, Miami and Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sven?
Miami has no home advantage. 20 people in the stands, but Miami is a better team. And if Cristobal can't beat Virginia Tech, he's gone.
No, he's not going.
He has to deliver or he's gone. Big win, Miami, 2 touchdowns.
I agree with you that Miami is going to win the game. I disagree with you that Cristobal is on the hot seat in any form or fashion.
They gave him too much of a contract to fire him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's there for at least probably 2 more seasons, no matter what happens. But anyway, so we got. What do you think, Sea-Dog?
Well, it absolutely disgusts me to say this, but I probably have to go with Miami here.
Yeah, I agree. It is good news because this is in September in Miami, so it's going to be hotter than the 7th circle of hell. But it is at night, so at least it won't be 110 degrees. So that helps Virginia Tech a little bit, but I think that Miami's just got a much better roster this season than Tech does. That'll be one to watch, though. I mean, especially if Virginia Tech goes in there undefeated and Miami's undefeated, and we're talking about week 6.
Yeah.
So that'll be a big game if they're both undefeated. I'm not sure Miami will be undefeated. We'll see. Then Virginia Tech gets another, they got to travel out to the West Coast to the newcomers in the ACC, Stanford, the Tree. I mean, Stanford's terrible. We already did Stanford's record prediction. What do we have them at? We have them at 3-9. So, and I'm pretty sure I picked Virginia Tech to beat Stanford, and I'm going to do the same thing here today.
Yeah, me too.
Agree.
All right.
I mean, Mississippi State is bad, but Stanford is horrible.
Stanford sucks.
Yeah, they're going to be bad again this year too, unfortunately. So we have them at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-1 midway through the season. Then they get after Stanford, they get a home game against Boston College with a new head coach.
Loss.
You think Boston College wins this?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. First of all, it's a midweek game. It's a Thursday game.
It is a Thursday game, but they do. This is a bye. They get a bye week between Stanford and this game. So
there will not many people be in the stands, and Boston College. You can say what you want, but they always win one away game against a better team. Every single season, they are bad. They are not a good team, but every year you can count on this. Boston College goes to Blacksburg and beats them.
You know what? In the interest of what he just said, I'm actually gonna agree with him. I've got to pick an upset somewhere here because I do think Virginia Tech's going to suffer at least one upset, and this looks like a Thursday night game after traveling to the West Coast, despite the bye week. I'm going to go with a loss here too.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter what I pick. I guess if I had to pick, I'd probably go with Virginia Tech, but I don't actually hate the upset pick either.
Yeah.
So.
I do disagree with Sven when he said that the stands will be empty. If they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-1 going into this game, the stands won't be empty.
Yeah, I don't mean empty, but they don't will have 70,000 people in Blacksburg. Maybe 40.
I think if they're 6-1, they'll sell it out. But we'll see.
We will see.
All right. So we got 6-2 here. All right. Sea-Dog. After the big upset by Boston College, they get another home game against your Yellow Jackets. What do you think?
We're taking them down for sure. We're gonna whoop their ass.
I have a question. Sea-Dog brings Tech their quarterback back?
Yep.
Okay, Tech wins.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Well, I've already made the public statement, even though we haven't done Georgia Tech's schedule preview yet on this show, that I think that Georgia Tech probably has the best team and best chance to win a lot of games this season than they've had in the past 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And they have a good coach.
Yeah, we're going to be particularly nasty on the offensive line. And, well, really, we're going to be good on offense. Every position group except for tight ends on our offense is really strong. So,
well,
and by the way, it's homecoming.
What's that?
It's homecoming for Virginia Tech.
Oh,
damn, they scheduled you on homecoming?
Jeez.
The disrespect.
That's right.
Damn, son. Now, look. I think that Virginia Tech loses one of these two games, either Boston College or Georgia Tech. I don't know which one, but I already picked Boston College for the upset, so sorry, Sea-Dog, I'm going to have to pick Tech here.
You're good.
I'm going to have to pick Tech here. So, did Sven pick yet?
Yeah, I said Georgia Tech wins.
All right, so it doesn't matter what I say. All right, so you guys are predicting back-to-back losses at home.
Yes,
I
at home.
Wow.
don't think that'll happen. I think they'll probably beat Boston College. They're definitely losing to us.
Yeah, I don't see back-to-back home losses for Tech in these two games. I don't see that. But anyway, that's what we came up with as a voting team here. So
the panel has spoken.
The panel has spoken. Virginia Tech on the road at Syracuse the first week of November. Give me the Hokies in that. Syracuse is getting a lot of love too. I don't really know why. I know they're really excited about their head coaching hire, and they brought in a new quarterback and all that. But I just like I said last week, I think Syracuse is probably a year or two away from being what people want them to be. So give me the Hokies.
Yeah, I'm going to go with they'll beat Syracuse for sure. I'm going to go with Virginia Tech too.
Me too.
All right.
So what do we have them at? 3 losses?
Yes, sir. 3 losses. Then Clemson travels to Virginia Tech.
This is a tricky one.
This is a tricky one.
And you know why?
Why? You gonna tell us why? Hello? No? No?
Did we lose him?
Clemson fans piss me off.
Oh, we might have. Hold on.
I think we lost him.
No, he's still on there.
Well, I'm going to go with Clemson here. I see what you're talking about by this schedule. This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
This schedule is like, damn. I pick them to win 8 games with this schedule. Like,
Clemson in a close one.
yeah.
Well, we're unanimous on this. You know, I'm not. You know, I'm not picking. I wanted to go to this game. I actually went in 2011. I went to this game. It was a top 15 matchup. I think Clemson was ranked like 13th, and Virginia Tech was ranked like 11th or something. That's for anybody who hasn't been to Blacksburg to see especially a primetime game. I'm not talking about against Old Dominion or something. A primetime big matchup at night, which I'm assuming if Clemson, only has 1 or 0 losses going into this game, or somewhere around there, and Virginia Tech only has 1 or 2 losses going into this game, it'll be a primetime game. They won't make this a noon game. It's a great place to watch a game, especially at night. The game I went to was at night, so I don't know what it's like during the day, but it was a great atmosphere, and we had a great time. I would like to try to go to this game this year, too. We're still trying to work that out and see what we can make happen. If I don't go to this game, I'll probably have to go to a game in Clemson. But give me Clemson in this one as well, obviously. I think this game could be close, though.
Yeah, I was considering going to. We go up there too, which is a cool place. I was considering going to.
Late field goal or late touchdown. 1-score game.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech at Duke. Duke replacing their head coach. They have our boy Manny Diaz taking over the helm. And they've got a lot of, they lost the majority of their defense. They're replacing their quarterback. They got a new coaching staff. Duke is a complete question mark going into this season.
Duke, I'm going to go with Virginia Tech.
Yeah, give me Tech in that one, too. Yeah, Duke is not going to be any good. And they finish off the season with the team we're going to talk about next, their in-state rival, the Virginia Cavaliers. Tony Elliott going into, his third season?
I smell an upset.
You smell an upset. The game's in Blacksburg.
No way, dude.
I don't know.
Virginia Tech
9-3.
That's right around what Vegas has them at 8.5. So over would be 9, obviously.
We got them at 4 losses.
4 losses? Okay.
No, we don't.
Then they can win. Okay.
Yeah, we have them losing to Miami, Boston College, Georgia Tech, and Clemson.
Okay.
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
What do you mean no?
We had them losing to Miami, Boston College,
Georgia Tech.
Okay, you're right. Sorry. So we have them at 8-4.
Yeah. Okay.
Which would be under the win total in Vegas.
8-4 sounds right.
That sounds about right to me, too. I think it is possible they could win 9 games. Like, in other words, if they beat both...
They can beat Clemson. You never know. They can beat Boston College.
I was going to say, if they go undefeated at home in this 2 game, I think these 2 games right here are the 2 most important games as far as their end result. And Clemson, too, but the Georgia Tech game and the Boston College game, if they win both of those at home, they probably will win 9 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we have them at 8-4, which I think is reasonable. And also,
that sounds good.
I don't think that if I'm a Virginia Tech fan, I'm upset with 8-4.
Yeah, 8-4 would be good. If I had to pick the under, I would probably still take the under if I had to pick. But because 8-4, yeah, I would feel pretty good about that.
I would
there's
too.
A possibility that they suck still too,
That is true. If I was going to take anything, I'd probably take the under. But this is one of those. I probably wouldn't even bet on this, honestly.
Yeah. Of course, I was wrong about Louisville. I was dead wrong about Louisville last year. So
I had him 6-6 last year.
Yeah, we were all wrong about Louisville last year. That was one of the teams that we got completely wrong on our predictions. Most of them we got pretty close, but that one we got that was our worst one.
Which is funny because they were the darling of the offseason last year. Everybody was talking
That's right.
about them, saying they'd be good, saying they could win the ACC. And like, it was like, I was like, no way, dude. But
They're being hyped up again this year too.
I'm sure they'll be good this year too. Maybe not as good as last year, but I'm sure they'll be good.
All right. So, officially in the books, 8-4, according to the ACC show. All right. Moving on to Virginia. They really haven't named. Well, Tony Elliott's a lot like Dabo. Unless you have like a blue chip quarterback in there, he's always going to say there's a competition and all that. The returning Anthony Colandrea, I think is his name. Another guy who lit it up towards the end of the season. He had a lot of stats, but Virginia's just not a very good football team.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. They bring back 5 on offense and 8 on defense. That's half of the team.
Yeah. Another coach that I think is on the hot seat after this season. If Elliott is as bad as if this team is as bad as we think they're going to be, he's probably out the door. I know Wahoo Brad, who's a Virginia fan, who's always on the ACC show. He's about done with Tony Elliott experiment himself. I'm rooting for him because he's a former Clemson guy. I like him and all that, but I don't know, man. Their schedule really doesn't work out very very well for them either. They have the opposite issue that Virginia Tech had. They have a much tougher schedule, in my opinion, than Virginia Tech did.
Hey, Pete.
Yeah.
Will you I'm about to join on my phone. Will you switch over to my phone?
Sure.
Because my wife just got home, and if I don't switch, we're gonna be blasted with Love Island.
All right. I'll take this one off and I'll put this one on then.
All right.
You good?
Yeah.
Did you say Love Island?
Yeah. Yeah. So unless they want to hear Love Island, I gotta get out of here. Yeah.
All right, so Virginia starts out the season against Richmond. Sven, do you know Richmond's mascot?
Yeah.
Spiders.
It's a 30-point win.
30-point win for who? For the Cavs?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
For the Spiders.
Yeah.
No, not for Richmond.
I don't know if it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be by 30 or 3, but I'm going to give the W to the Cavs on that one.
I think I got the Cavs in an upset.
And I tell you why. Because Virginia will not win one of the next 2 games.
Yeah.
They ain't going to beat Wake Forest, and they ain't going to beat Maryland.
I agree with that too.
Oh, I disagree. I disagree with the Wake Forest pick.
No, I don't. I think
Wake
Forest.
is better.
Wake Forest is going to be better this year.
Yeah, I think so too. But I'm trying to do everything I can to help my boy Tony Elliott out of here. But it doesn't matter. You guys both picked Virginia to win, so.
Dude, Virginia has been
Wake Forest
a
to win.
disaster. The Tony Elliott has been a disaster from the second they hired him. Really, from before they hired him, because he was about to on the hot seat at Clemson because his offenses were so bad. Now, whether Dabo would have fired him or not is up to question. But they swooped in and made it so Dabo didn't have to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was on the way out anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, he might get hired back if he gets fired here.
Why would they hire him back?
Because he's Dabo's buddy.
No, he's not firing Garrett Riley. Why would he? Riley's only his second season.
He might bring him back as a position coach and then promote him later.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
You don't know about that? That's totally something Dabo would do.
Maybe. I don't know why he'd come back as a positions coach. I mean, he could definitely get a coordinator job in a Power 4 school.
You think so?
Yeah. Sure.
I don't know about that.
I mean, the guy's got 2 rings. So.
Yeah.
He's got the pedigree as a coordinator.
It's a sour taste in your mouth after kind of how it went at the end there. at Clemson, you know.
There was a lot that went into that, but that's why I think that ship has sailed. As a matter of fact, I'm not even sure that he'd want to come back to Clemson.
Yeah.
You know, unless he didn't have any other options.
Well, I hope for your sake that you're right.
Yeah, me too. And I like Elliott, but I don't want him back at Clemson as far as, especially play calling. No, thank you. I don't.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It was bad.
It was bad.
It's not a ton better right now, but.
Well, I disagree with you there. But we'll talk about that when we get to the Clemson preview.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a win against Richmond and a loss against Wake Forest. So 1-1 for the Cavs heading into week 3. Maryland at Virginia.
Maryland lost the ukulele.
Oh,
Yeah.
they sure did. Huh?
Pineapple Junior plays there, or?
Yeah.
Pineapple Junior, yeah.
Yeah.
Rangele was at Oregon State. Maryland is a better team.
Yeah,
Win.
I'm just having a
Maryland
hard
is
time
better.
picking. And you said it's at Maryland too?
No, it's in
It's
Charlottesville.
in Virginia.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh,
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Listen, I would love for Virginia to win this game just because it's an out-of-conference game against the Big Ten. But I don't see it
It's a
happening.
night game.
I don't think
It's a
so.
night game.
Yeah.
8 p.m.
Yeah. So give me the Turtles in this one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Now this one's interesting. September the 21st, Virginia at Coastal Carolina. Yet another example of an ACC team going on the road to play a Group of 5 team. This is an epidemic.
But, Coastal lost McCall or McCall.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
Grayson
did.
McCall.
Yeah, he's at NC State now, or where is he?
I think
The quarterback. He was not bad. He
NC
was really
State
good.
sounds right, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think NC State or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
It's a
Virginia
tough
actually
one.
here. It is tough, but I'm gonna pick Virginia here.
I pick Virginia too.
They're not like
Yeah.
completely irredeemable. They're bad, but they're not just awful, I guess. Like they had a couple games last year where they popped off and got an upset, you know.
I think they go on the road and make a statement here after back-to-back losses, and win big.
Yeah.
Against the Chanticleers. So 2-2 going into week 5. Boston College at
Loss.
Virginia.
Loss.
Yeah, I think I lost to Boston College.
Well, it doesn't matter what I say. I'm picking Virginia to win that, but it doesn't matter what I say. You guys both voted the other way. So yet another loss at home this time for the Cavs. Oh, man. Louisville at Virginia the next week. So back-to-back home games for the Cavs.
Yeah. The next 3 are L's. We don't have to talk about this. Louisville, Clemson, UNC.
Oh yeah, dude.
There's no way in hell they win any
Now
of these games.
Now I will.
Oh,
say that
I don't know.
It might be UNC.
I think, well, we'll get to them in a minute. So we're saying loss to Louisville. We're both saying loss to Clemson. That game's in Clemson, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clemson playing both of the Virginia teams this year. So loss. North Carolina is, they're looking rough, man.
Yeah.
This game's in Virginia. I'm taking the Cavaliers in this one.
Me too.
Okay. I take NC.
All right, so that's a win.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's a win.
I think
man.
USC's gonna be bad.
These next 4 games, holy hell. How many wins we got for them so far? 1, 2. We've got them at 3 wins right now with 4 games remaining.
Yeah.
Virginia at Pittsburgh.
Loss.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh is gonna be like Wake Forest. They'll be better this year.
They can't get much worse. They were terrible last year.
They were so bad.
They were really bad.
So bad. Jeez.
Yeah. Since they won the ACC, they are going down.
Yeah.
Down.
This game has the potential to be closer than I think, what we think. But
it's a one-score game.
On the road in Pittsburgh in November, too. Yeah, I'll give me Pitt on that.
Yeah.
South Bend is next.
Well, this game's going to be rough, isn't it? Virginia at Notre Dame, mid-November.
Yeah. Ouch.
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 I'll be surprised if this game's within 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, no, this will be a blowout for sure.
I'm high on Notre Dame this year, too.
Notre Dame will not have a starter on the field in the second half.
Tony Elliott might be fired by this point, too. He might be gone by this point, too.
Well, if his record is what we predict it to be, he might be.
Yeah.
We've got them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses going into week 9 or 10. Yikes. Big yikes.
Lost. They will lose to SMU. SMU is they are not good, but they are solid.
Yeah.
They are rock solid.
Yeah, we did the SMU preview the other night. Let me see if I can find what we came up with here. What week is this? 10? 9? No, 10.
11. What?
10. 11.
11. It's November 23rd.
Wow. How in the hell? We have Virginia beating SMU?
Really?
Yeah, that was just last week. See, dog. So
jeez.
Too many beers, boys.
Me and you came up with that?
me, you
did that, didn't we?
We had somebody else on here too. I can't remember who it was.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I think it was just me and you, and we went through the three new teams.
Well, I've got right here week 11 against SMU, loss for SMU. So
I guess a loss. I don't know what I was thinking.
I think we were trying to find a loss for SMU on there at that point of the stream, but I got to stick with what I said. So go Cavaliers! Big win, okay. I guess.
I think SMU beats them.
It's not the most outlandish thing. I mean,
no.
Virginia did pop off last year at the end of the year and get like an upset or two.
Yeah. So they're going to upset at least 1 or 2 teams. So it'll be SMU. Welcome. I think, you know what? I remember the conversation now. We were talking about SMU coming into the power conferences. Yeah. And so they're gonna catch a couple of lumps from teams that they probably shouldn't lose to. And being it late in the season, this game being in Virginia, I think that's the reason we went with that. So
yeah, imagine that they lose to the shittiest ACC team at home.
Yeah. So we got a win there for the Cavs. Now, last but not least, the in-state rivalry, Virginia at Virginia Tech this year. Is anybody picking Virginia in this game? I'm not. Well, we just did the Virginia Tech preview. I think we were unanimous on that. So,
yeah.
So 1, 2, 3.
4-8.
So we've got them at 4-8, which is exactly what Wahoo Brad said at the top of the stream. He is a Virginia fan, so he's gone through the schedule already and sort of picked out what he thinks is going to happen. He might disagree on certain games, I don't know, but we have the same record. It would be a 1-game improvement over last year's 3-9.
Yeah.
But it would be 3 straight losing seasons for Tony Elliott.
I give them an outside shot at Pittsburgh.
All right, so let's say that we've nailed it from all these picks, and then Virginia somehow still beats somebody like Pittsburgh or one of these other teams that we had them losing to. That's still 5-7. That's still a game short of making a bowl game. Does any coach in the Power 4 survive 3 straight losing seasons to start their career out? I don't think so.
I mean, nothing against Tony, but 4-8 Sounds like he's gone.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I'll tell you what, if they could win 6 games, he'll save his job.
Yeah. If he goes bowling 6-6, he stays.
Yeah.
But anything less, he's gone. And if I'm Clemson, I take him back.
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
I mean, you don't divorce your wife, go get a hotter wife, and then go back to your ex-wife. That's why.
I don't.
It was not that bad.
I don't. Do you remember how that ended? It wasn't good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. I mean, he had a hell of a run at Clemson with some great players and all that, but you know.
Yeah.
I think that ship has sailed. That's all I'm saying. And I look. I hope Virginia does win 6 games, and that he does get another chance to coach in 2025. I'm sure Wahoo Brad probably feels differently. He's probably ready to go ahead and eat the bullet and move on. Of course, I don't have that problem because I'm not a Virginia fan. So I get where he's coming from.
We had the same last year. We kicked on it after week 9. Leach died. We had a top team. If Leach is there, we win 10 games. Easy with that roster and air raid. Easy.
10 games, you say?
It was horrible. It was absolutely. Trust me, I'm not delusional. Mississippi State was loaded. Absolutely loaded. We had near 30 seniors.
Yeah, that's a shame that he died, but that did set you guys back. I still don't know about 10 games though. I mean, we'll never know, obviously.
We had 8 home games and our 4 away games. One was at Arkansas and at Arizona we had at home. Arkansas, at Auburn, we beat both of them, and that's 10 wins.
You beat Arizona?
We beat Arizona. Week 1.
Arizona has the second longest win streak in the country right now.
Yeah, we beat them.
It's Michigan, obviously they went 15-0. It's Michigan, Arizona, then Clemson. Imagine that.
Yeah, we had it. I had a bet with Zona. Ask him. He's here.
Zona says Virginia's 6-6. I don't know, man. I don't see 6 wins on here, but I hope you're right.
We will see.
The ACC does have a way of sort of fooling people in the preseason. It seems like by like week 5, everybody's preseason predictions are pretty much out the fucking window. You know, it's like there's always a team that starts out in the middle of the pack that ends up winning a lot more games than we thought. Now, I don't think Virginia will be that because I think they're probably in the bottom 2. Let me ask you this. Is there a team in the ACC that you project to have a worse season than Virginia? Stanford, Stanford, or maybe Cal too.
Maybe.
Maybe Cal.
Cal made a bowl last
I know nothing about Cal.
We've got Cal. We did the Cal prediction last week. We had them at 6 and 7. I don't know. The problem with Cal is they've got a crazy travel schedule, and I know people say that travel doesn't matter anymore. Well, it does if you're the one traveling.
They travel almost the entire circumference of the Earth.
Yeah.
The
Earth
Earth
right.
is like 24,900 miles. I saw Josh Pay posted this.
Yeah.
And they travel 24,000 miles.
Okay. And one trip from Berlin to Starkville is 4,500 miles.
Yeah.
Cal has a stretch where they go from the East Coast to the West Coast, back to the East Coast, back to the West Coast in 4 consecutive weeks. That's insane.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And I think the same is true for Stanford. Now, they did try to help them out in that stretching. I think give them a bye week in one of those weeks, but still, even so. I know Stanford has back-to-back weeks on the East Coast. We talked about that. They play Syracuse, and then the very next week they go to Clemson.
I mean, I have nothing against the ACC, but what the heck is Cole doing in the ACC?
Well,
it's PCC. It's Pacific Coast and not Atlantic Coast.
It's the All Coast Conference, actually.
Oh, the All Coast. Okay, sorry.
Oh. Call it what you want. It's a dumpster fire. They should have never been in there, but I understand why. Look, these teams, Stanford and Cal especially. SMU's a different story because they were a Group of 5 team, but Stanford and Cal in particular were just trying. They just. I mean, they were on a sinking ship in the Pac-12. They would have went anywhere, and so the ACC said, "Come here." They said, "Okay, we got you." And SMU, obviously being a Group of 5 team, they're playing for free. They're not receiving any ACC money, I think, for the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have enough money.
Well,
Sure.
Stanford is a rich university.
Yeah.
Tall too. They have more
well,
money
it doesn't
than
matter who.
Clemson.
It doesn't matter how rich you are.
Way more money.
They're missing out on $40 million a year. For the $80 million over the next 2 years is what they're not getting paid. That was their agreement just to get into the ACC. Now, was that a good move for them? Well, I mean, we'll have to see what that works out for them in the long run. I have to imagine it's probably still better in the long run than being where they were.
Yeah.
You know. And plus,
I think the Pac-12 comes back.
You say what?
Something like the Pac-12, a Pacific division comes back. This is not working this way. You have the SEC and the Big Ten and the 2 smaller Big 12 and the ACC. That ain't gonna work this way.
Well,
The ACC should get go ahead and get Oregon and Washington State.
And if Clemson and Florida State goes away and North Carolina, the ACC is dead. Everybody knows that.
well, the realignment is not done yet. At least not over the next 3 or 4 years. You're going to see a lot more movement.
Yeah.
So,
I predict a conference from west of Ohio to the Pacific, anywhere there, and all the teams, Oregon State and Cal, and they take maybe Miami of Ohio or what the heck, and form a new 5th power conference. That ain't gonna
yeah, I
work
don't know.
this way.
I think the days of the Power 5 are over. You're going to see probably less conferences than more, at least in the power divisions. You'll see at the most 4. Who knows? There's every time one domino falls, 10 other fall in different directions. So it's really almost impossible to predict exactly what's going to happen. I mean, if Florida State and Clemson, or Florida State, Clemson, and 1 or 2 other ACC teams were to leave, that would cause a domino effect across the country, the same way that the domino effect after we saw what happened with Oklahoma and Texas leaving to go to the SEC, and all those Pac-12 teams leaving to go to the Big Ten.
Yeah,
So
we will see.
we will see.
So, prediction end.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm out of here.
All right, buddy.
At least at the stream.
All right, see you later, Sven.
It's good talking to you, man.
He's over in Germany. What time is it in Germany? They're 5 hours ahead of us? Yeah. So it's 1 a.m. over there.
Dang.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is cool that he's going to Ireland to go see. First of all, I would love to go to Ireland anyway. But if you could tell me I could go to Ireland and watch an ACC football game, sign me up for that.
Yeah. It's expensive. That's why we're not going. But
Did you even look into the price to go to this game?
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah. I bet the plane tickets alone are probably ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like he just said, he got $400 for a ticket.
Yeah.
So
that's ridiculous.
probably from the States, probably $1,000 plane ticket at minimum.
Yeah.
$400 for the tickets. That you and your wife. That's $2,000. Then God knows how much it costs to get a hotel there that week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just too much. I know I'll be going
I know I'll be going to a couple of games this year, so
Well, you're going to, what is it, Miami?
Miami for sure. Yeah,
Miami for sure. That's in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
What's the other one?
Well, that's all I have in concrete right now. I'll definitely be going to the Georgia State game with my buddy who went to Georgia State. So I'll be going to this for sure.
Wilkie sent in a super chat. He says Clemson versus Georgia Tech, Peete versus Sea Dog next week.
Well, here's the thing: the game's not coming out for another 10 days, so it won't be out. But
I think he's saying for a record prediction.
Well, we could do that. We could do that the next week. We could do Georgia Tech versus Clemson and then play each other in the game.
So here's the deal. Next week I'll be home. The week after that is when I'm going to be gone.
What do you think you're doing, bastard? Well, we can just do it the next week then, if you want.
Oh, maybe he is talking about the game.
Clemson and Georgia Tech don't play each other for the first time in 100 years this year, so we could do our own little, you know how we do the ACC showdown? We could do that and just in the offseason and play each other.
He's saying the game comes out this coming Monday. I don't think that's true. I don't think it comes out till...
It's on the 19th.
The 19th, yeah.
So it's 10 days from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Florida State and Clemson need to be in the SEC, Georgia Tech and Miami to the Big 12. What do you think about that?
Big 12 is not the best scenario for Georgia Tech, but it's definitely not the worst.
I think it would be more likely for Georgia Tech to go to the Big 10.
God, I wish. That would be the best.
Both
scenario.
Academically and geographically, because they would have the entire state of Georgia TV market.
Yeah.
Which they don't have.
That would be the best scenario for us. Well, besides the SEC, but that's just not happening. So Big Ten would, I'm hoping for that.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see. Well, you got the 3-day early access. We don't have that. I'm not starting to stream the NCAA game until I get back from my trip. So that'll be, I'll be gone the 21st through the 25th, I think. It's like 4 days. So that the end of this month is when I'll start streaming the game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we can have a showdown when we get back.
Yeah, we'll do that. So who do you want to do next week? So let me run this down real quick. What we've done. What we have left. So we've done North Carolina State. Yeah. We've done SMU, Cal, and Stanford, and tonight we did Virginia and Virginia Tech. So we still have one more team in North Carolina left over, which is Wake. You want to do them?
What about Duke?
Oh, yeah. You want to do those two teams?
Yeah.
All right. We'll do Wake and Duke next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me. Are we on track to finish by the...
I think we're doing okay. Like I said, I'm gonna miss 2 weeks before now and the start of the season, so I'm missing that. I'm not next week, but the week after. I'll miss that Tuesday, and then the first Tuesday of August, I'll miss that week. But I think we're still okay.
Yeah,
we might have to triple up on 1 week.
I'm sure that will be fine. Me and you went through 3 teams last week with no issue. So
seems like years past we had a hard time getting through 2 games.
Well, it's because we had Slim.
We had 6 people on here. Yeah.
We had like argumentative people on here. That's why.
Well, and a lot of people.
Yeah, we would have Jordan and Slim and like.
Which was great, by the way.
True Seminole would come on.
But it did slow us down a good bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Any last words from you, my man?
Nah.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for this week of the ACC show. We'll be back next Tuesday at 7 p.m. to cover Wake and Duke and whatever else news, college football news is happening at the time. All right. See you later, Sea-Dog.
See you, man.
Later. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I will be back tomorrow morning for the midday show at 11 a.m. That's on my second channel. If you guys haven't subscribed to that, there's a link to it in the description of this video. That is not a football channel. It's a shit show is what it is. But we have a lot of fun. The midday show 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your Tuesday night, and I will see you guys tomorrow.